So, look, what drew you to meditation in the first place, Tracy?
Um, I was in the need to find a way to reduce stress within my body through an illness that I've developed. Um, and what it said, the illness can be treated with all the drugs and everything that you want. But when I was reading through my booklet, it just said, you need to reduce your stress. And I need it. And all it said was one word under stress was meditation. And that's what I needed to do.
What was your perception of meditation before you started? What did you think it was?
All I knew was, I suppose, like from what I'd seen in the little statues of Buddhas and that, where they're sitting cross-legged and people sitting in like lotus positions and doing chantings. And that's all I knew. They closed their eyes and they just sat there for a while, however long, and just, I don't know, whatever they sat there and thought about, and that's all I really understood about it. It was absolutely nothing like I expected. I didn't know what to expect. And obviously I'd met Jason, yourself, and I started to meet really lovely people, and Jason started to explain to me about what meditation was and everything. And when I first started my meditation and I closed my eyes and I went through the instructions of what Jason said to me and that, and it felt really weird when I opened my eyes again. I didn't quite, it felt refreshing. I just like, well, but this is nothing like I'd ever thought it was going to be, kind of thing. Totally different to what I thought meditation was all about. I found it very mixed at times. When I first did it, I thought, I'm not going to do this to sit there for 20 minutes a time, twice daily. You say your little mantra within your head. And I thought, how am I going to sit there? And I thought it was about focus. And then, like, so some days, I think in the early days when I first started, I thought I was trying too hard. I was trying to think constantly about getting through 20 minutes, getting through, like, thinking about the mantra constantly. And sometimes my brain was very busy and it didn't feel like it wanted to relax. Even though I got through my 20 minutes, I sat at the end of it some days and I'd think, oh gosh, my brain felt really busy all the way through that meditation. It didn't seem to stop. There were still thoughts coming through to me. And I thought in the beginning that it would stop all the thoughts coming into my brain. But I was still saying my mantra, and then something would pop into my brain, like an odd thought. And it wasn't necessarily something that I'd done yesterday. It could have been something from years ago, would just pop up into my brain from nowhere. And I'm like, why am I suddenly thinking about this all of a sudden? So I found that very bizarre. And actually, I still do it now, like random thoughts, but as the time progressed on and the days, I found before I knew it, the 20 minutes was over. And it had just like, where has that time gone? You know, how is it gone away so fast? And to just escape, just to sit down quietly was the best thing. And you just suddenly, you forget everything. You just close your eyes. And it's just like the world stops for you for those 20 minutes. And it's just you and nobody else. And the outside all shuts down away from you. So, you know, it was like, it's like a kind of personal private space to me now. It's like my time. It's when I can be running around all day looking after everyone, my husband and my mum and everything. But when it's time for my meditation, everything stops. And I've just got a moment to sit and forget everything and take time out from life and the day and thoughts. And it's just like, you know, just sit quietly. And I think that was lacking in my life. I never sat down. I never took time out for myself. And I never, ever turned around and just gave myself that moment of peace, which now in my daytime, no matter how stressy and everything gets, I know that I can just go and walk away from it, sit quietly and just forget about everything for my 20 minutes at a time. And then when I wake up when I come out on my meditation, everything's a little bit more clearer. All the things that were worrying me and bothering me are just like, well, they're not worth worrying about. It's just not worth it. And Jason's taught me that different things, like things come and go, worries come and go, but they are just that, they're thoughts, and it's about your thought process. You can kind of like all day long worry about something that's not happened and worry and go over and over it in your brain. And you take time out, do a little bit of meditation, and suddenly realise that it's just a thought and it's not important, because it's not going to change anything about you and it's not going to change the situation.